So I was wrong about this new meta. Make sure you guys smash the crap out of that subscribe button so you guys don't miss out more awesome content. So I gave some of my initial thoughts on this with a lot of friends and a lot of the community. And I was like, wow, and I think everybody kind of had the same thought. Like, Fire is still going to be sitting here doing this thing. All right, like, Fire is going to be a very scary deck. Well, you guys saw the Kong's Cards Tournament results this morning, and you all probably had the same thought I did. Holy crap, Tenpai Dragons are insane. But what's going on with Fire? Well, first of all, these are very early results. This is nothing, too crazy to write home about. But if you're sitting out here and you're like, wow, I do recommend you watch the video so you kind of understand a lot of the things I'm going to be saying here in terms of looking at the very early meta from this. Things do change. We do have Rally coming up here. We will see a huge shift in the meta in the upcoming times. But Fire has not lived up to our expectations. Everybody's like, oh my gosh, the Wanted package is so nuts. I sat here and I watched at least 60 replays from this event. And I can tell you that the end board the Fire makes, okay, so you can still do the Flamber's Dragon, the IP into the SP, but not having the Baron de Fleur, not having this Borreload Savage, holy crap, I hate to say this. Am I going to praise Konami? Did Konami actually make good decisions out here? There's no way. Well, the way it looks right now, actually banning Baron and Borreload Savage has just invalidated. Konami actually managed to check both the Snake Eyes and the Fire King decks. By those decks not having those old interaction. Okay, so the Fire King build still has Arvada. You can still go down, the Ponix route. But the other big thing right now is, you have a lot more hand traps floating around in this format. Like, holy crap, man. Ash, Droll, Veiler, Mourner, Imperm. You have the Board Breakers in here now. You have Talons. You have Thrust. There are Droplet. Droplet's a freaking broken card right now. And then you've got Pot of Prosperity in here filtering for these. Oh, and we should probably count Fenrir as a board breaker card too, right? Like, Fenrir's sitting over here at the dinner table. He knows he's here. He was invited. Hi, Fenrir. I see you over there, buddy. Still one of the best gosh darn 3-ofs that the TCG ever had out here. So, from my early understanding, and I mean, you're going to have people disagree with this. People are going to be like, Fire's still a very strong deck. A very strong deck is one thing, but then you still have to deal with the Shadow Overlord creature over here that's known as Tenpai Dragons. And you've also got to remember here that Tenpai is going to undergo a lot of rapid evolutions in the TCG, because I guarantee you that the TCG is going to take that smokescreen idea and they're going to roll with it. I already saw a Tenpai Dragon deck siding into Centurion. Like, what in the world's going on there? Oh, you make the Tenpai Dragon player go first? Oh, you think they're just going to heat wave you? No! What if they just Calamity Lock you instead? Well, that's not fair. Why would they do that, Robbie? That doesn't. Why would they do that? That's. I don't like that. And it's like, well, yikes, because they can. Those 15 side deck slots that they have allows that engine to board in to all of these things. And you're like, oh, we're just going to trick them, Heat Wave, turn skip. All right, cool. All right. They can Calamity Lock? Yeah, that's right. I don't know. So this was talking about the meta, and we started off with Fire, and then you're like, oh, but you're looking at Tenpai. The reason why I specifically mentioned Tenpai and all this, besides the transformation side deck and the evolutions it's going to go through, is Fire gets obliterated by this. To be fair, what doesn't really get obliterated by Tenpai Dragons, but not having that Baron de Fleur, not having that Borreload Savage, they stripped the deck of its end board pieces and made Fire a very fragile deck. And then you have the truck coming, Isekai Truck-san coming through here to reincarnate every Fire King, Runic's end board that ever did exist. I'm actually genuinely impressed by the amount of replays that I have watched so far, just of that deck. I mean, I got to watch a full Snake Eyes combo against a Sword Soul player. And I was like, wow, that's really cool, you know? It's like round one. I'm like, okay, that's really cool. I watched the exact same play against a Tenpai Dragon player, and he board broke them with Droplet, and he was like, woo! Just coming on through. Like, enjoy your enjoy the lethal. Just the 16,000 damage that you're taking. It's just like, no problem, man. Just run it right on over. Like, I don't know what to say about it. Like, genuinely, holy crap! Like, Konami stripping Fire King and the Snake Eyes builds down to their very core minimal efforts. They fixed the deck, but lo and behold, Tenpai Dragons. Hi, Tenpai. What about Yubel, though? What about Yubel? Robbie, hey, we know. All right, if there's going to be a crap ton of Tenpai players, I'm just going to play as much Yubel as I actually can. I mean, yeah, you have a pretty good matchup. Actually, believe it or not, Yubel's like the natural check to it, but we don't have Phantom of Yubel yet. We probably won't see Phantom of Yubel. Everybody's speculating we're getting it in battles. I have a feeling by the time we do get Phantom of Yubel, Tenpai Dragons probably have ran its course and or gotten checked on a ban list. So we'll have to wait and see. I'm a little bit sketchy on what's going to kind of go forth here for some of the future for this. I do think that there is a lot to be said with the whole Tenpai Dragons, you know, kind of running the meta in the corner over here with Yubel, you know, naturally checking it. But the point of this video was to go, with the way the fire is, the end boards aren't that scary right now. Hand trap ratios are going to be up through the roof. There was an interesting discussion point for evenly matched in fire, though. I just play the deck as a going second. Play evenly, board break. And I mean, that is highly possible. I mean, you can do that. We've seen a lot of very strong going second builds out here throughout the years. All right, Sky Striker was notorious for being the going second king, back in, 2019? They tried a lot of going second, just slam down the evenly and go. Yeah, we've seen it. It's been a thing. I just, to everybody out here that's looked at the prices of this stuff, and they're like, wow, you know, picking up these wanteds, all these prices. Early tournament data tells me differently. And this actually intrigues me very much so. I'm very curious, now that I've seen this data and we've reported on it, how Rally is going to shape up. Because if this is the case, and this is what we're looking at here, and we're seeing this meta be so much more different than initial thoughts, that's going to be crazy. And I think more and more people will kind of start to realize this over time, that, you know, Baron and Borreload were actually just fantastic removals from the game. Being able to not have... It's also forced people to kind of end on different things. Oh, and I should also talk about Colossus really quick as well here. A quick little shout out to Colossus. The card is an inconvenience. It's just that. Colossus... There was some Nemesis Corridor stuff that was starting to pop up, not just from what I've seen. You've also got, you know, the standard, you know, we're going to play the 60 card Thunder piles, and that's fine. I do look forward to seeing what those piles will do. It is kind of the TCG specialty out here to grasp onto some sort of Lightsworn cards and go, ooh, we can play these. Yeah, we've seen this time and time again. It happens, all right? People will test out these new ideas. They'll get excited to see what they can do. And that's why Colossus, I think, coming back was a nice little push to the 60 card piles. I really wish we had grass. It was like the one time I would say, like, grass would be cool because, I mean, you don't have any Omni Negates anymore. You end on what, like a Colossus Apo are typically the most threatening things. And you're just like, well, you know, that's kind of that. Honestly, playing around in Apos, not the hardest thing in the world I've noticed anymore. So, final thoughts on what we're working with here. I think this format's very interesting. I'm glad to see that we're shaping up from the dog water that we were just in, like the absolute, the wasteland. But really, I think this might be one of the most interesting scenarios that we could have hoped for in the game. Beautiful. Leave a comment down below, tell me what you guys think, and I'll see your beautiful faces back in the day, guys. Peace out. Patrons, thank you.
Thank you so much for watching. Check out these other videos.